Welcome to part 6 of the Sonic Unleashed Let's Play. Okay, so I think we are actually done with oh man, well sorry, you know what it is? It's been a while since I've released the last part. I don't even remember where we've been last time. And so excuse me on that. I think we actually got yeah, I think we actually went through Halaska Day, I think. If that, correct me if I'm wrong, but again, it's been a while since I've put up the last part. So here I am, just aimlessly wandering about while looking for any sun or moon medals that I may have missed. Although I think I may have missed a few. But as you can tell by the beginning of the video and the fact that it's 26 minutes long, yep, we are doing another Werehog level. And, well, we're doing Spagonia. We're doing Spagonia Night. But before we actually do head to the nighttime stage, we hit this hourglass, which lets us switch from day to night, and so we can get another upgrade. Just to get it, I just wanted to get it ahead of time, so you know. Oh, it always helps. So of course we couldn't access this area before because we didn't have of this stomping switch. But now that we have the stomping shoes, we can then press the switch like that, and which leads us to this corridor. Bounce on the springs, and the stomp also pretty much helps with precise positioning and all that. But I don't really recommend it. But unlike Sonic Generations later on, I don't really recommend it because the way how this game's physics engine works, you'll most likely guarantee, like, even if you're moving at the slightest of speeds, Sonic will just slide all over the place. So I don't really recommend it for precision platforming all that much. And what we just got is the wall jumping shoes. Well, if you played any Mario game before, then it's pretty self-explanatory. Let's just jump from wall to wall. However, before I get into the Werehog, or at least this Werehog stage, I just want to point out that unlike Sonic Generations, where it was basically context sensitive, in Sonic Generations, you can only jump off of certain walls that have these panels on them. The same thing applies for another upgrade later on, and I think you might know what it is. In this game, though, you can jump off of any wall, though, so don't worry too much about it. Okay, now that that's out of the way, well, at least the more interesting part is out of the way, we are now in Spagonia Night. Fair warning, the reason why this video is only 26 minutes long, is because this stage is long as hell. My best bet though, in sections like when you're in these kinds of sections where there's doors all around, you can actually break these doors, and you'll be able to go into the building like that. A lot of buildings usually have something inside, so it doesn't hurt too much to check. And I really do recommend it for sun and moon medals, especially sun medals, because, you know, it makes sense. The game requires a lot of sun medals for you to gain access to the final level of the game. But there's also other stuff too, like record discs and videotapes. You know, seeing the image of Sonic in his Werehog form, breaking into random houses, and and stealing video cassettes or videotapes. And he's doing it, and the videotapes contain cutscenes, supposedly. Maybe Sonic's on the hunt for something else, if you know what I mean. Hey man. Hey man, I know since Sonic is running away from Amy a lot, I see Sonic as that type of guy, alright? I'm just saying. And it only makes sense. At least to me. And besides, he would. But actually though, now that I think about it, I haven't really touched upon this. Yeah, not only you can collect moon medals and not only you can collect sun and moon medals, but there's also other types of collectibles you can collect. You have books which pretty much count as concept art, and you know the concept art. Yeah, you collect books which hold concept art. The record players hold the game's music, and the videotapes hold cutscenes. So with that all said and done, yes, Sonic Unleashed is one of those games where you can't really watch the cutscene right away yet. You have to find the videotape, a certain videotape, and you can watch it that way. To be honest, it doesn't really bug me too much that I had, at least when I'm just playing the game regularly, but when I'm doing a Let's Play, or say when I was doing that edited clip in my final part in the Sonic Generations Let's Play, where Modern Sonic goes, "Hey Sonic, enjoy your future, it's gonna be great." And of course I needed the opening cutscene to this game. However, I didn't really have the cutscene in my possession, so what I had to do is reset the entire game. And I didn't rebuy the Wii version at that time. Like, there was a point where okay, this is actually going into some backstory here. The first version of Sonic Unleashed I've actually owned was the Wii version. And with its problems aside, I still think it's alright. Like, I don't think Sonic on the Wii was all that great, with the exception of Sonic Colors. And maybe Unleashed, but just maybe. But later on, I traded in the Wii version, and a little bit later on, when I finally got my... I think a little bit after, when I finally got my PS3, I got the HD version. And you know, the HD version has its problems too. I will admit that. But I still think this is the more superior version. At least in my opinion. So, yeah. I had to start a new file for Sonic Unleashed. So I had to start a new file for Sonic Unleashed, or at least a new game for Sonic Unleashed, the HD version. And yes, I just clipped to the wall. Just to get off topic there. If you do actually clip into a wall, you don't worry about getting stuck or dying. I mean, the game will automatically put you back into the play area. And thanks to my button mashing skills, well, quote unquote, damn Sonic Rush. If you're fast enough, you can actually pull levers before the enemies can hurt you. That's actually a tactic I use for another stage later down the road. And yeah, that's actually the best way to get an S rank. Okay. Oh, god damn it. Really? You see, that's one thing I don't like about about the Werehog. Even in the HD version, it always stops you. It always stops you whenever you're just to fight a group of enemies. And these egg fighters, since they're different because of their color. They're a different type of egg fighter. They shoot lasers. You may not believe me since I took them out really easily, but the egg fighters that shoot lasers, they can be pretty annoying, especially if you're fighting a crowd of enemies. And as for these, I always do the same tactic. And the shield does shit. I got lucky there. There we go. I haven't shown off the quick time event for that one yet. Alright, I know a sun medal is there. There we go. Thank God I've seen it. Okay. So yeah, Sonic Unleashed, again, the Wii version is what I first played. And I think it's the inferior version, not just from the Werehog stages, but just from even the daytime stages I think lack. I don't know if I should show it off. But actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I do plan on talking about a small rant. I guess that'll do. So looking back at the first part of Sonic Unleashed, the first part of my Let's Play, I actually got a comment and from Pajama Warriors, I think it was, where I'm sorry if I didn't get your username incorrectly. I might put it in the description for you. But he actually says that he goes, well, he basically tells me that Unleashed is one of his favorite games. And, you know, this is, in terms of Sonic Unleashed, this is actually a lot of people's favorite, or at least another fan favorite Sonic game. Well, then again, in terms of the Sonic fan base, even games like Sonic 06 can be fan favorites. But but I digress with that. What I'm basically saying is that a lot of people really do like this game, and possibly more than, you know, Generations and whatnot. You know what? That's cool. That's cool. I'm fine with that. Granted, as long as you're not an asshole about it, then I'm perfectly fine with it. But remember back when Sonic Unleashed was first debuted? I mean, I think I already covered the whole when Sonic was turned into a Werehog fiasco, and everyone was like, what the hell? Well, and because of the Werehog, this game got shitty reviews. It was from the quote-unquote big name reviewers. Ah, damn camera. I'm sorry. So, remember, we all know the IGN review, right? And how that game got a low score.
There's one thing you should know about Sonic Unleashed before spending your hard-earned money on it. It's a big piece of garbage. Big piece of garbage. Indeed, it's games like this that make reviewers rethink their lives. It can be fatally unresponsive at times, and it's just a lot of trial and error gameplay that can get a little bit Sonic the Werehog makes Big the Cat look like an endearing character. It's kind of like having a group of 5-year-olds come up with ideas after giving them a bowl full of sugar. Sure, there are fun parts buried inside, but don't subject yourself to the pain.
A 4 out of 10. And you know what? I like Unleashed, I really do. And I don't think it deserves... Granted, I don't think it's the best Sonic game ever, because as it does have its problems, admittedly, like the Werehog and whatnot, but, you know, I still like it. Yeah, I personally think Unleashed is more of an underrated gem, and I still think people should try it out. Oh. But, you know, the reason why Sonic gets so much shit nowadays is because ever since Sonic 06, or when Sonic went into 3D for that matter, people are saying that the series has gone to shit. And you know, granted, and I guess you can't blame them to some extent. And it didn't really help when Sonic 06 came out. But come on. Sure, was 06 a bad game? Oh yeah, absolutely. But because of that game, people start to hate on this series. Now I know some of you in the comment section and are gonna be all like, or gonna click off the video and say in the comments section is that, oh, look at this little shit whining and crying about his favorite series. Typical fanboy. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm not the only one, cause I know damn well that there's other fans that actually feel this way. You know, like, you know what? Recently, I've actually noticed people hating on games like Colors and Generations, and those two are fantastic games. I mean, yeah, they have their problems. Generations had an underwhelming story, and Colors had humor that was a little too childish to some people. But is it a bad game because of that? But are they bad games because of those little things? No, they're not. People are hating on... Now people are starting to hate on Sonic Boom. Well, granted, I don't blame them. But yeah, people are hating on Sonic Boom. Not so much the... I don't know why I'm paused for a minute. Guess I must act a little bit. Right, anyway. So, apparently, people are hating on the TV show, or people are hating on Sonic Boom because, you know, it's different. Now with games like Rise of Lyric and Shattered Crystal, well, I can see why at least, but the TV show, I don't get it. I mean, yeah, even that TV show, even that has its problems. But just because it has like at least a few bad episodes, that doesn't make the whole TV show, or at least the whole series, terrible. But like, I wanna, as long as I can still enjoy it. You know, I can still enjoy it, and a lot of people do. Oh, and you know what? Even that TV show, that has a lot of even some fans, at least some modern fans, or some classic fans, would like that TV show. Even people that like 06 actually like the Sonic Boom TV series. And you know what? To people out there that are hating on Sonic Boom because it's too childish or it's too weird or whatnot, look at Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, look at Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. That TV show was all. That TV show played mostly like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon. And personally, how I think of it, even though I have watched only two episodes, so far I think it's at the point where it's so stupid that it's actually good. Same applies for Boom. Not as much, but same applies. But this is how I feel with Sonic Unleashed, because, you know, the Werehog, yeah, I'm not a fan of the Werehog. I'm pretty I'm pretty 50-50 with the gameplay. I'm not too big with the medal collecting or a certain stage later down the road. But I still like this game. I still enjoyed it. I'm just saying. I just want to say that. I just want to say that that this series alone gets too much hate. And whether you think it deserves it is entirely up to you. But me personally, at least nowadays, I don't think it doesn't. Although, to be honest, it's the way on how, since it is the 25th anniversary of this series, and Sega hasn't been saying anything other than such Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice, and even then that's being made by Sanzaru Games. But nevertheless, since Sega has been really quiet about the 25th anniversary game, and this is honestly kind of scary. Like, I hope... I mean, granted, if a franchise dies, it dies. But at the same time, you don't want it to die, you know? Granted, this series is... Although a part of me is kind of doubting it, because... As this series is probably the only thing that's keeping Sega afloat in terms of, you know, company. In terms of the company, anyway. Because that's how they pay the bills, man. And everyone's got families. Everyone has to put food on their table, and this series is big. It's not really big it's not so big in Japan, but it's actually bigger in the US. It's actually bigger. Yeah, it's actually bigger in the US, and it's even bigger in Europe. Fancy that. It's so I personally don't think this is a dying franchise, but in terms of this 25th anniversary game, Sega needs to step up their game. Like, they really need to step up their game with this one. It doesn't have to necessarily be Sonic Adventure 3, which I'm kind of hoping it isn't. Or at least, I mean, I want them to go back to the adventure-style gameplay. Something akin to Adventure 1 and Adventure 2, you know, only less buggy. But I would like to see them give that another shot. Granted, do they not want to give it another try because of 06? Most likely. But, you know. No, I'm just saying. I just want to say that this is kind of a scary time for... That this is a scary year so far. Especially since the convention Summer of Sonic, where it says one last run. And I'm like, oh no. On the plus side though, Sega at least does support their community much better than Nintendo, because recently, or near the time of this video, I guess, as Sega is actually supporting ROM hacks for games like Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and Knuckles and CD, I think, on the Steam Workshop. That's actually a good idea, and they actually support fan projects. I like that. It's not, you know, that's actually one thing I do like about Sega compared to Nintendo. Well, because at least with Sega, they do support their community much better. Now, granted, is the Sonic the Hedgehog fanbase fucked up? Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. But you know, no matter how bad... But you know what? Sega does support us. Well, they support the fans. They actually support fan projects and ROM hacks. So, well, at least... Well, as long as it's not being... Well, as long as no one's asking for money or if it's too offensive. And at least with and at least when I'm recording Sonic videos, because I feel safe when playing Sonic videos for the channel, because you know, I don't have to worry about a copyright claim. Because the thing is with Nintendo, if you record anything that involves their property, whether it be their like if I was to record games like Super Mario Galaxy E2, or at least Super Mario Galaxy 1. I remember Super Mario Galaxy 1. Those two videos in that Let's Play got copyright claimed by Nintendo. What the hell? Well, granted, it's their property, but I'm not asking... well, okay, yeah. Granted, it's their the game is their property, but I'm commentating over it. And I'm still technically commentating over it. And I'm still... You know what, I still do edits just to make sure, and Nintendo is still stingy about that. They're about as cruel as, well, a lot of movie producers. Because stuff like Nostalgia Critic, and whatnot, they get slammed with copyright claims and strikes. So, with that being said, hashtag where's the fair use? At least that's how I feel. That's how it should be. So, anyway, hey, that is it for my rant, as well as for this part. So with all that said and done, so with all that said and done, the next time we meet in Sonic Unleashed, we're gonna be going to another continent and another Werehog stage. I'm GameMan5804. See you all then.